happy Thursday. It's 9 o'clock on Thursday, October 15th. And we are gonna be decorating the Squawk-tagon, making stuff, playing with spooky paper. That's what we've got going on tonight. So, apparently I have to choke first because I don't know how to swallow water anymore. All right. So, how are you all doing? How's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful evening. So earlier today we put together this flap. It's going to be a flap. It's going to cover probably a waterfall. So the question is, do we want to do button and string closure or magnets? What do we want to do? We'll think about it. First I'm going to put some adhesive on this flap so that we can stick it down and say hi to a few people. Hi to Kathryn, who was first to chat. That would be Kathryn of Kathryn Scraps, which is who I am. And that's the show that you're watching. But then after me was another Kathryn. So it was a Kathryn party for a while in the chat. So Bev and Kathryn says, so excited for more Squawk-tagon fun. Yes, indeed. We're getting to the fun part, which is decorating, which is what I prefer over construction. I know there are people who like construction more than decorating, but I'm a decorating more than construction person. So Bev says hello everyone. Emma says hello glitter gang. Carol Jones says good evening glitter gang. Happy Thursday part 2. Which is like a scary movie. I'll see what happens on Thursday, part 2. So all I'm going to do is center this side to side and put it on the edge of my chipboard. So I don't want it like getting in, or center it top to bottom, I mean, and put it on the edge of my chipboard. So I want to leave myself a little bit of room here. You see I have left a little bit of a ridge there. I don't want to interfere with the function of this. So I'm making sure it's not in the gap at all. It's only on chipboard. All right. So now we're going to do the other side of it, which is, this is about 8.5. So let's make it 7.5. Let's cut an inch off it. So we'll do 7.5 wide for the base. So plus 1/2 inch, so that's 8. Plus an inch, so that's 9. So 9 by 10 3/4 is the size you need to make your next piece of cardstock. 9 by 10 3/4. So we're going to get a piece of cardstock that is 9 by 10 3/4. This is a folio. This is a display. It's got all kinds of fun things going on. We are decorating it with the All Hallows Eve paper from Paper Phenomenon. And if you want information on any of the products used, including my tools, just check the links below. I have an Amazon ideas list with everything that I use, as well as all the paper collection is linked. The cardstock is linked. If you want to get a membership and join the archives, that is linked. It's all down there in the video description. And if you're watching this in the archives, well, then you know how to get to the archives. I don't need to tell you. All right. So now this is 7.5 by 10 3/4. So I'm going to cut a piece of paper that is 7 1/4 by 10.5. And we're going to cut it from the other side of the same sheet. So 7 1/4, 10.5. All right, and so that is going to get stuck down right there. And then that's going to go here. So this is how it's going to look. Ta-da! So we looking good so far. Looking good so far. Let's ink it. Using black soot ink throughout. I'll go ahead and use glue again. We'll just keep it consistent. What the heck? This is why I don't use liquid glue very often. It gets all crumply and weird. And why I prefer, if I'm going to use liquid glue, one that gives me some time to work and adjust. So we'll probably use tape for the rest of this. I'm telling you, my sister, she buys fruit because she's going to be healthy, never eats it. It gets all gross on the counter, and then the bugs come up here for some reason. I don't know why. I'm going to have to ban fruit in the house. I think that's the only answer. No fruit. No fruit allowed. That's not unreasonable, you know, I don't think. I must be sweeter than the fruit. Thank you, Ella. In November, end of November. All right, so I'm going to do the little strip again. Just going to take off 3/8 of an inch. So 3/8 of an inch by 10.5. Hi, Carly. Welcome. Good morning to you. We have a fruit fly trap and it does work well, but there's always a bug up here, you know. I think they get lost because once they get up here, they don't know how to get down. That's my assumption. Either that or they're like attracted to how hot it is up here because this is the hottest part of the house. But yeah, the ones that stay downstairs die. Ew. All right. So now we're going to stick that down there. And well, actually, before I stick it down, we should probably put the closure on it, right? Let's do button and string. Oh, you want to die? On you see, you were on my project, so that's how you saved yourself, bug. Darn bugs. Okay, I'm gonna leave that off for a second. Gonna go get my, let's see if I have any orange twine. Because I know I have black twine. I also have gray twine. So I have gray. I have orange. I have this kind of golden color. And I have black. I used to be organized. I used to have a rack for all of my guys. Okay, so marigold is better, but I think that's just like a lot. And I think the black might be maybe a little intense. Maybe let's just do the gray for something kind of fun. Let's do gray. Or yeah, I'll keep the others around. All right, so let's make a big button and string closure. So let's see. Let's try 2 inches. See how I like it. I don't know how. You could use pumpkins instead of circles. Absolutely, if you wanted to. I'm probably going to use just circles. Okay, so this is a 2-inch punch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 1 3/4 inch punch and punch out a pattern paper. And I do want something that has the texture of the moon, so I'm going to use that same kind of mottled paper that I used on the sides, because it does have a kind of moon-like texture. And so we're going to put that there. All right. So then I'm going to get a 1-inch circle. I prefer to use circles for button and string closures because it's easier to wind than a shape that has edges and like a stem and stuff. It's easier to wind your string. And then I'm going to get the 3/4 inch and I'm going to put something with a pop of color. So we incorporate some of that fall. Yeah. I'm going to use this and I'm going to try and grab the cats on the broomsticks. And I'm going to try and get a cat. Oh, let me make sure you get the right one, 3/4. Going to try and grab the little cat on the broomstick. And I'll grab the pumpkin for the other one. So then these will go here. Like so. So this is what it's going to look like. And then it'll have the gray stretching across. All right. So 3/4 1 inch, 1 3/4 2 inches. All right, now I'm just going to use normal brads because they're not going to show. So I only need 2 of them. Okay. And I'm going to mark my holes. So unfortunately, I already stuck this one down, so that's annoying for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it 1 inch and 1/4 plus 1/8, so 1 inch and 3/8. 1 inch and 3/8 in from the edge. And then we want to go halfway in this way, which would be, let's see, this is 10 3/4, so it would be 5 3/8. And then I'm going to take my 1/8 inch hole punch, or my 1/16 inch hole punch, and I'm just going to punch the intersection of those 2 lines. Just going to line it up in my there. Okay. All right, now I need to punch a hole in the center of this, which I should have done before I punched it out, but that's okay. I'll show you how to do it. So I need my 2-inch hole punch and a scrap piece of paper. And then just fold this in half. And stick it down on top of the circle. Draw your line. And then just move it to the other side and draw your line. And then that shows you where the center is. So all right, so now I have the center on that one. I'm gonna just go ahead and trace it onto the other one. Man, something about, okay. All right, so okay. All right, so the stack is, I'm gonna ink the moons. And then we'll glue them down. Glue them both down to the disc. And then same with these. I'm gonna ink and then glue. And then we're going to make a little place for the Brad to live. Oh, I didn't ink it. Oh no. Ink it, then glue. Ah! Oh my gosh, I hate glue so much right now. Glue and I are no longer friends. You can't sit with me. Okay. So we're gonna make a little we need to make a little well on the back of these. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my skinnier foam tape. And I'm just gonna go around the outside. So just gonna make a little space on the inside for the brad. Finally. Okay, so now we have this little space in the middle. That's where the brad is going to live. That's what, yeah, that's where the brad is going to live. So now all we have to do is trim the side. What is happening? Trim the sides. Okay. And then do the other one. And then trim again. Okay. So now those are ready to go down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper piercer and pierce this hole. And then put the brads through. Okay. And then we're going to put this over the brad like a hat. And that way it's a really cool, we don't have to punch the brad through the cat. So we get to keep that whole image. Okay. So I'm going to set this brad. And this is actually the one that we should tie the string on. So. All right. Then I'm going to cut this excess so it's not poking out and you can't see it. And then I'm just going to, give this a little bend so its edges are lifted a little bit. And then we can put down our cat. All right. Okay. So now that we've dealt with that side, this side we'll do obviously after the other one is on, but we can at least, oh no, we don't want to, no, where I lost it. Where did I put the page? Oh, here it is. Okay. Got to punch the hole. Okay. So 1 3/8 in from the edge, and then from this edge, and then 5 3/8 in from the side. That's your intersection. Oh, but yes, we have to go inches in from the from this edge. So this is like 2.5 inches. So it's 1 3/8 plus 2.5. So 1 3/8 plus 2.5 would be something in 3 7/8. So that's what it's got to go in. 3 7/8. Right? 3 7/8. I'm just going to test it by setting it down. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So we're going to stick this down right here. Yeah, they'll be right next to each other. Perfect. Okay, so once again, curl the edges of this thing so that they're kind of lifted like a flower petal. And then you can put your hat on your brad. And this time it's a pumpkin. All right, so now we can stick it down. And there's the layout. So that looks pretty amazing. All right. It does look like a spooky door. You are correct. I co-sign that. Or creepy eyes. Yep. And remember, this will be on the outside always. So this is the front cover, but it's also one of the panels when it's in its display position. So you will always see it. So when it's on your table, this will be one of the things showing. And I think it's very inviting. Like, it makes you want to open it and see what's going on. All right. So I'm just going to set this down. Same thing as before. You know, I don't want to be too close to the edge because I want to be solidly on the chipboard. You know, give yourself a little bit of room. Okay. All right. So that's our door. We've got our string. Oh my goodness. It is the cutest. What the heck? Okay. What the heck? It's so cute. Let's open it up. So we're going to decorate, and I'm going to lay it a little bit flat. Okay. There we go. All right, so it'll be a little easier to work with in this position. All right, so I'm thinking for the inside, let's do a waterfall.